Hey Karen, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera, I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses, your first pair of glasses, for your Polo 2045 color 5003, which is the tortoise and the 52 eye size. So let's begin. This is the Ralph Lauren gift box that it comes in, your Ralph Lauren hard case, your Ralph Lauren cleaning cloth, and actually Polo gives you one of the largest cleaning cloths of any of the designer frame companies. And of course, this is your frame in the Havana color. When I hold it up to the light, you can see the tortoise a little bit better. This is the tortoise and platinum. Mostly everything else is black and silver or brown and gold. This is one of the rare brown and platinums, well, brown and silver, whatever you want to call it. These are the original demo lenses, one of which will say Polo Ralph Lauren. I'm going to pop these out really quick. And of course, you're going to get all the original manufacturer's packaging with these. I'm going to put your Italian frame, and of course, again, the Polo 2045 color 5003 and the 52 eye size. Hopefully, my GoPro camera is good enough. But I'm going to put it into my tracing element, turn it back on after its slumber, and we're going to trace your frame. Hang on, we've got to do a little bit of stuff here. Let's override some of this. Now we will. But the stylus is going to come up and trace the shape of the right side of your frame before moving over and tracing the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Ray-Ban Polo, I'm sorry, Ralph Lauren Polo frame is what I meant to say. Buy a genuine, authentic Ralph Lauren Polo frame and you will receive free clear single vision prescription lenses. So I have traced your lenses. Now I have to, the frame. I'm just getting ahead of myself tonight. I've got too many jobs I got to cut. Let's go ahead and get your lenses prepped now that we're done with the frame. Your right eye reads -75 sphere. I'm going to take it out of its original packaging. Turn the power drum to -75. Put your lens in it until I find the optical center. And then I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. Of course, that third one is always really hard to see, so I'm going to darken that for you. And that is the right lens. We'll do the same thing now for the left, which is a -1 sphere. We have -1 sphere power there. Take it out of the protective sleeve. Find the optical center, find the right power on there. There we go. Now we find it, and again, let me darken that third dot. And this is the left lens. Let's take everything down here and we'll keep working on the lenses. So your right lens, this is actually, keep getting everything in the way. I'm going to learn how to do this. I really will. This is a block. This is what needs to be attached to your lens while it is cutting. I'm going to put the lens down on the little platform back there. Peel off the sticker. The bright green is a double-sided adhesive sticker. This little silver button is a magnet that's going to hold it in place in this arm. And I'm going to put in your pupillary distance, which is 60. So you are 30 in both eyes. So overshot it. So there's 30 there. Let's do the left lens. And we're at 30 there. Bring it back to the right. And this blue square is the geometric center of the lens, but your pupillary distance is just inset just a little bit. And I'm going to get everything lined up there just perfectly. Those 3 dots that I put on there. I'm going to hit this button, which is going to cause the arm to come down and to apply the block onto your lens. That is your right lens. Let's do the same thing now for the left. Peel that sticker off. Put it in place. Get everything lined up. I got to get, that is your optical center. And these two are lined up on that straight line. So again, I'm going to hit this button. The arm's going to come down and apply the block to your lens. Now, the actual cutting wheel is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind your lens material down until it's its final shape. This wheel in the center with that little channel, that valley, that's what's going to apply the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. And let's go ahead and begin. Again, this little silver button is a magnet, so it's going to hold it in place in the chuck, or as I like to say, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. But I'm going to pull the shape of your lens up onto the computer. These are polycarbonate lenses, and all I have to do is hit the green arrow, which is start in any language. So the door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens moves into place, and it's now going to be traced by 2 white calipers that are tracing the shape of your lens all the way around, making sure that it's going to fit into the frame. Essentially, the lens is large enough to fit into the frame, but on a small frame like this, it's no problem. So the machine is starting up, and in just a moment this is going to drop down onto the cutting wheel. So your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is also virtually unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into them. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. The other nice thing about your lenses are they are aspheric. Aspheric simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is completely round in every direction. It gives you an ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance when people look at you. So not only are these thinner, but the curvature of the lens is much flatter, so it's going to fit along with the curvature of this frame and not bow or project out of the frame at all. This is a much higher quality cosmetic appearance. Of course, when you buy glasses from people online, they charge you for plastic lenses. And if you want to pay the upgrade to the polycarbonate, there is a fee for that. If you want to pay an upgrade to the aspheric lenses, there is another fee for that. This is what you start with for free when you buy a frame from me. This is someone else's 3rd tier premium lens. And of course, you're going to get it free here at freeprescriptionlenses.com. Everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. That's what I base my business on. So the lens is actually getting the safety bevel now. I'm sorry, the bevel that's going to hold it in the frame. And of course, if you notice, water just started spraying. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry. Plastic and high index lenses cut wet. So it's for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle that the water kicks in, and that's just to wash away any optical debris that may be on the lens. Now that arm is coming into place. It is now the final shape. But it's going to smooth out the front surface of the lens and then the back surface of the lens so that there are no rough edges. After this is done, the door will open and we'll see about getting your lens mounted into the frame. Okay, the door opens. We are done. I'm going to hit the button to open up the chuck. I'm going to pull the lens off, and of course, first thing I'm going to do is dry your lens off so it is not slippery. And then let's try mounting it into the frame. I'm just going to wash away any optical debris that may be on the edge of your lens. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner closest to me first, and then using my thumbs press down at the nose, and it snaps in perfectly. Let's do the same thing now for the left lens. I'm going to put it into the chuck, flip this over to the left, and hit start. Just like before, the doors will close, the caliper shut, or the clamp shuts, and now the calipers are going to trace the shape of your left lens, going all the way around, measuring the thickness. But of course, your lenses are known as spherical. You have no astigmatism correction. In fact, while the left lens is cutting, I can continue to work on the right. Dry the lens off. I'm going to leave that red dot on there because that is your optical center. I'm going to use that to measure here in just a moment. So I'm going to put the lens into my Marco 101 lensometer right at that red dot, and I'm going to read the power. Oops. And I'm reading -75. So the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. And it goes in quarter increments starting at 0, which we in the business refer to as plano. Everyone else calls it non-prescription. and goes up from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 1/4, 150, and so on, up to about, well, 20 right here. But without your glasses on, things are actually much larger in real life than they appear. So when you put your glasses on, it will minify. It's the opposite of magnify. That's why there's a minus sign. It will minify down to the correct size. You actually need 3 steps of correction to minify to the correct size for your right eye. You need 4 steps in the left. So essentially everything will be minified for you. Of course, Karen, you are from Acapulco, Mexico. There is free shipping anywhere in the United States. All you do is pay the shipping to Mexico. And in the future, should you ever need new lenses, just contact me and I can mail them right to your home. And of course, you'll see how to mount them into your frame. So it has just measured the thickness again to get a second opinion on where to place the bevel. So it is now dropping down and applying the bevel. It was flat at the edges, just like a nickel, where you could stand it up on the counter and the lens would stand on its own. Now it's getting the V-shaped bevel, which is going to hold it in place into your frame so that it stays in there and will never fall out. So the water has just kicked in, telling me it's on the last of the cutting cycle. And then the safety bevel, which is just going to apply the bevel to the inside of the lens and to the outside of the lens. So it's nice and smooth and there are no rough edges being applied to your frame. This machine costs $40,000. I recommend everyone go out and get one. It weighs about 200 pounds. Put it on your kitchen counter and then you can cut lenses at home. You wouldn't need me anymore. Alright, the left lens is done. In just a moment the door will open. We will take it out. Hit that button to open it. We'll draw your lens off. And let's get this one mounted. Again, we're going to tuck it in at the outside corner, then using the thumbs press down at the nose. And actually, because it's a little bit steeper lens, a little bit stronger, I'm going to take it down just a little bit more until it easily pops into the frame. Hit the retouch button. Now, again, it was 1 step stronger, but so it's slightly, ever so slightly thicker. So it did not want to go in as easily. So I'm taking it down 1/10 of a millimeter. And for all my friends at home who don't know what a millimeter is, it is the distance between my thumbnails. Now in Mexico, yes, everyone knows, but here in America, no one does. So I'm going to take 1/10 of that distance off, going all the way around the circumference of your frame until it fits in there. I do not want to force your lens in there. I'm going to apply what's known as the cold mount. Some people will use these glass beads to heat up the frame to soften it so it'll slip in easier. But I do not want to stretch your frame, or another term that we in the business called roll. If you can imagine your frame being like a gutter, if the lens were in there too tight, it would force your frame to roll outwards. It gives you an ugly cosmetic appearance and shortens the life of your frame. I am a perfectionist. I cut every pair of lenses that's shipped all over the world, and I'm not going to turn out any subpar work. So this will take me another minute or 2 longer, but the finished product will be better and extend the life of your frame. And of course, this also gives me the time that I will include instructions on not only how to care for your eyeglasses, but your eyeglass case and cleaning cloth, so it will last you for years. No other seller on the internet does that. That's just one more service you get from me. And of course, open that up. I also include a photo request with every purchase so that you can have your picture on the website. Feel free to decline, but I'm always going to ask. So again, I now take your lens, tuck it in at the outside corner, push down with my thumbs, and it snaps in easily this time. I'm going to take the block off. pull the sticker off, dry this off again one more time, and I'm going to go over here and measure that it is indeed -1, although it is, but force of habit, I'm going to give you the full service, and we're getting -1, so that is perfect. Now your pupillary distance is 60, so I'm going to hold my card up and I'm going to put my PD stick against my right finger, my left thumb on your right lens, and on your left lens we're going to read 60 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. The next thing I want to do is clean the dots off your lenses, and this is when I take the time to explain to everyone that if you get these in the mail, there's a chance that they could fit tight or loose, but realistically there's an 80% chance that one lens is going to be higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other. And that's the reason why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take my glasses off, they definitely wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. So I'm going to flip them over and test. There is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. The same amount of tension on each spring hinge, and there is. So Karen in Acapulco, I do thank you for getting your first pair of glasses from me. If anyone has any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And Karen, I hope you enjoyed watching as I made your first pair of glasses, which is the Polo 2045, the color 5003 in the 52 eye size, which is the tortoise and platinum. And hopefully everyone else got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.